Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there if you want to see our beautiful faces, Vetta especially. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister, Vetta.
Hello.
Hey. And on this episode, we are going to continue this month with our theme, which is movies with imaginary friends. So this episode, we are going to be talking about the movie Hide and Seek. Vetta, had you seen this movie before we reviewed it for this
Yes, I
podcast?
had forgotten. I remembered the premises of it, but I had forgotten what it was all about. And the more and more I watched it, I was like,
Right.
And stuff. So it came back to me when I watched it.
Yeah, I actually saw this in the movie theater opening weekend when it came out because I was all like, oh, that looks good and everything. I was, mistaken, but whatever. What did you think about this movie overall before we get into it?
I don't know. I have issues with it. We'll get into. I just went, it was a great idea and it was able to go so many, but as I've said many, many times before, it went on about 30 minutes too long.
For sure.
There was a lot of filler that didn't need to be there.
Right. Like I was like, how many scenes is this bitch gonna push around her food like at dinner? Like I've had enough of this nonsense.
Or just be sitting on her bed staring off into La La Land.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, so all right, before we get started on our review and talking about all the juicy stuff, we are going to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking?
So, I am drinking wine because they drank wine at dinner. I mean, they drink a lot of white wine, and mine is not.
Mine's not either. I'm drinking wine also. Go ahead.
So, but that's okay. I'm drinking the wine. It was an easy
kind of
one.
wine?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't put a ton of effort. So.
Oh, well, I mean, that I put effort into it and I had the same conclusion you did. I was like,
I do have a backup beverage.
Oh, right on. That's look, me too. Which I have to talk about that, but just one second. But no, I had the same thing. I was like, well, they're drinking wine. I'm just anytime anybody drinks wine in a movie, I'm like, I have my drink. Yay. But what kind of wine are you drinking?
So mine is
me, I'm a wine snob, so
you are. So I think it was a couple weeks ago or whatever. I drank it's plum wine. I love Japanese plum wine is so good. I absolutely love it.
It's like a sweeter wine.
This one is actually not. It is sweeter compared to most wines because I think it's classified as a dessert wine. I'm not sure, but there's a big variety depending on which brand you get. This one's got a little sweetness to it, but it's a drier plum wine. And I've had other ones that are super sweet and you're like, whoa, I'm a diabetic now.
Right on. Right on. Well, I am having a Bordeaux. And okay, so so my sister, who is just a sweetheart, her and her husband are so sweethearts. They sent me this huge thing it was like a 24 pack of these little tiny bottles of wine that you get at a hotel refrigerator or whatnot. And it's just got all these different like blends and different types of wine. So it was very nice and I did appreciate it. And
well, I figure, if I bought you the wine, then that's a little less wine you buy from the liquor store. So the guy will stop slipping you those AA cards.
That's so true. He does know my thing. He's like, when I don't buy wine because I make our special drinks and everything, he does no wine tonight. And I'm like not this time. And then when I whatever I order, he's like, what are you making with this? This is a weird combination. I was like, why don't you calm down? All right. And then I tell him what's going on.
Well, that's when you should tell him. You should be like, here's our business card.
Well, I did tell him. Well, I was like, we have a podcast and everything. And he's like, oh, that's cool. What's it called? And I told him and stuff like that. All right, let's get started on this review because these listeners aren't here to hear our story, our book and everything, which will be out in theaters the stores by Christmas. Okay. So the whole premise of this movie, I just want to get into the whole thing because this movie is not dense, if you get what I'm saying. So the movie is, in a nutshell, okay, is wife/mom kills herself. Father and daughter, they move out to the country and they rent like a house to stay in. Daughter creates and starts an imaginary friend. Then people die. And then there's the big reveal of the imaginary friend, and the suspense, and then the ending. Okay. So on all of that, I wanted to get into like some of the stuff going on in here. I don't know how you felt, but me personally, like when I was watching the movie, did you before, I don't want to give away, I don't want to tell a reveal to people who haven't seen the movie just yet, but did you, when you first watched this movie, did you get who Charlie, the imaginary friend, was instantly kind of close to the end, or what?
About the maybe the middle, I don't know, kind of when Elizabeth dies. That's when it kind of came to me. That's when I got it. But yeah, that's about when it came to me on this. I don't know. It was a little strange. And there was a lot of things that I just it was just bizarre.
Yeah.
It was just bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't get it at all. And when it did happen, which I want to talk about how you felt about it. Don't answer how you feel about it now. Because when we talk about the reveal, I want to talk about all of it. Because I have thoughts. And I had these thoughts when I first saw the movie, but I didn't get the reveal when they revealed Charlie, the imaginary friend. I was like, oh, I didn't get that at all. I was like, I'm surprised. I'm like, you got me, and everything. So, okay. So I just want to say, I thought that right off the bat in the first couple of scenes before the mom ends up, ending herself, I thought that the daughter and the mom had a good relationship. How did you think they had? I thought they were like, a fun like pairing.
Yeah. Did at some point in the movie, did you get a point that the mom and the daughter didn't have a good relationship?
No, but I thought because of the ending, I thought that maybe there would be some kind of reveal, like there was something else going on or whatnot. But
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I did get that even though the mom killed herself, even before they showed that, she kills herself, you could definitely tell there was something going on in that relationship.
Yeah.
Just by how they interacted.
Oh, I love how I don't know if you wrote down any of the lines. I only wrote down one. I love how the mom was she's like, some things therapy just can't fix. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how big of a dick is Robert De Niro that you're just like, oh, F this nonsense?
I went, oh, they're in therapy. I didn't know at that point he was a therapist. So I was like, oh, they're in therapy. This is not going well.
Right on. Yeah, so.
And then when she offed herself, I went, oh, God, how big of a dick are you that therapy wasn't working? And she just went, you won't let me out of this marriage. You're making me go to therapy. I don't want to do it. I'm done. This is my only out.
Yeah. I was just like, that's how it is. It's like, I was like, oh, your marriage was so bad. She ended herself to get out of it. She's like, fuck this noise. I'm done.
Right. And I was kind of like, God, that's like, I don't know. It just was like, you can't get a divorce.
Yeah.
You can say the counseling's not working. I want a divorce. It's okay. Yeah. Pack your bags, take your kid, move on. But you thought that wasn't even an option. Whoa.
Yeah, she went from 0 to 60 like real quick, like in a heartbeat. Right. I was like, like you said, there's options, honey. There's not one or the other.
Okay, and let's be honest though. I can't imagine being married to a therapist is the easiest relationship in the world. Maybe that's why a lot of therapists marry therapists, because normal people are like, you are not psychoanalyzing every fucking word that comes out of my mouth, you tool. This is just a normal marriage today. I don't like you argument.
I have a feeling every argument is just like, how does that make you feel? I'm mad now. Stop asking
that. Would send me over the limit. Like we would be having a disagreement and he would have said, how does that make you feel? And he might get like whatever is within arm reach.
Right. You're like, motherfucker, I'm mad.
How the hell does that make you feel?
Right. Yeah. Right. That's so true. Okay. Would you mind if we talked about some of the characters before we get into anything else? Okay.
Oh, sure.
And we can talk about the story as we go along. But like we said, everybody, the story here is very, like, it's not dense. It's very bland. It's very, like Vetta said, it's a lot of filler in between.
And that's why we're not following the normal, let's recap it for you, because this would be boring as fuck. So we're kind of like making a new little path through this movie, because you all would tune out about 10 minutes into the recap
it was
of this
it was like it's very like one note, if you will. Okay, so can we talk about the owner of the house that they rent for this time period? Okay.
Oh, the agent, and the sheriff. Can we talk about the sheriff too?
I want to talk about the sheriff, because the sheriff creep. Okay, so first off, the owner is a creeper, in my opinion. Because when he gets there, why is every man in this movie talking about how beautiful his daughter is?
Thank you. I have that written down. I'm like, is this like, because so side note, there's an episode of Criminal Minds, because I love that show.
I love Criminal Minds.
There's an episode of the like gated community that is of like,
oh my god, I know which episode you're talking about. Go ahead.
I thought about that after everyone kept commenting, after like the third man commented on how beautiful this girl was, I was like, oh, where's the FBI? When are the profilers coming in? Because this shit is so creepy.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I'm all like, you can say, like, I mean, kids, when the people, when they tell me like, oh, your kids are really cute, I'm all like, okay, that's a normal comment. But if all these dudes were like, your daughter is so beautiful, I'd be like,
that's the key. They weren't saying she was cute. They were literally saying she's so beautiful.
And I don't want to pick on Dakota Fanning when she's so young, but she was not beautiful in this movie. I mean, her hair needed a comb ran through it.
And it's not, they dyed her hair. That is not a good color.
Yeah.
She has those beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
They should have just kept her nice blonde hair with those beautiful bright eyes, because they made her kind of look like a creepy kid.
Yeah.
Like you were going to find out she was the killer, and she's not. But they made it seem like you could find that out.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Okay, so one more thing about the owner. Okay, so he drops off the skeleton keys in the middle of like the freaking night, and I'm all like,
at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm all like, what's going on here, dude? Like, why would you do? And he's like trying to push him under the door. I'm all like, why wouldn't you like send a text, or in this case, a call, and just be like, hey, I'm gonna drop off the keys at some point in time. I'm gonna put them in the mailbox.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say. Why are you sliding them in the door? Why not in the mailbox? And can we just talk about the fact that, he drops them off at the exact same time of night that Robert De Niro's character David is waking up every night, which is the same time he found his wife dead in the bathtub, which totally makes sense. I mean, trauma, I could totally see that being a thing. But that's just the time that guy and his wife are going to their cabin in Canada to unwind. Because
it's only an hour away.
A good time going to Canada in the winter to unwind.
Right. That's so funny. Yeah, no. Okay, so let's talk about the sheriff now. Unless you want to talk about that.
Let's talk about the sheriff.
The sheriff. Okay, first thing. Also, very creepy.
Super creepy.
Okay,
he kind of gives me a stupid Barney Fife feel.
Oh, right on, yeah.
But with like a creepy twist to it. Like he's the sheriff from Chainsaw Massacre combined with Barney Fife.
Right. Yeah, like, okay, so the first thing I wrote down was he could have let him out of that ticket. He was just being a douche and everything. And then the second thing, okay, so when he shows up looking for Elizabeth Shue, and he's like, can I have
character's name is Elizabeth as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna call her Elizabeth Shue the whole time. So he's all like, can I have a glass of water? And he's all like acting like all distressed and everything. And as soon as he leaves, he gets that weird look on, like that smirk on his face. And then he sees the little girl, and he's all like, like
that creepy smile.
Yeah, like that smirk, and you're just like, ew, you're weirding me out.
We talk about when he was giving him the ticket, and he has opened the car door and is leaning on the car door talking to the little girl, and the dad's looking out the window, and the dad's given the right vibes, like, why have you opened the car door and are talking to my child? And the sheriff looks at him and like gives him a creepy smirk.
Yes.
I'm like, so then my thoughts are like, oh, well, you interrupted my conversation with my new girlfriend, your daughter, who's like 10. So I'm going to give you a ticket to be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, So
me and you were on the same page because I was like, I don't know about you, but I was getting like offended watching it because I was like, if some motherfucker was doing this with my child, we would be having a chat. It wouldn't be about a ticket. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be like, don't talk to her.
And it's one thing if the cop was like writing a ticket on the car and saw the kid and was just trying to make the kid feel calm, but you don't need, like, my kids know you don't roll the window down. You can hear people through the window, so you sure as fuck don't open the door.
Yeah, I was
they are a cop, because even for danger stranger nowadays, they don't teach kids to go to a police officer. It's like when we were kids, it was always find a police officer. And now it's find a mom with kids.
Right. Yeah, no, I was like, so like the sheriff, I was all like, I don't know. I don't like you at all. Like, how are you sheriff? Like, how did you win that? Because like, I wouldn't have elected you.
Every time he's at the house and he communicates with the girl, I'm like, oh, you're weird. You're so weird.
Like when he's looking for Elizabeth Shue and he's all like, would you tell me something that you wouldn't tell if your daddy was here? And I was like, why are you phrasing it like that? That's such a weird way to say it.
He calls her a good girl.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. And I'm all like, I don't like this at all. Like, this is making me feel weird.
Like, did the director tell him to purposely play it this way? Or did he think he was just playing it like a good cop? Like, I am like,
that's a good question. I don't know. He made a choice and I didn't like his choice.
My thoughts is maybe they told him to play it that way to throw more of a confusion in there.
Maybe, but I mean, like, even if he had,
but I don't think he meant to play it in a pedophile way. I think he meant to play creepy way, and his creepy way just accidentally maybe came off that way.
It was just weird. I didn't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the neighbors now? Are you cool with that? The neighbors.
Yeah. Okay. Laura and Steve.
Yeah, I didn't write down their names, but I understood their plight. You know, they had a daughter who got cancer and died and everything. So when he tells
recently, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. So when he tells him that, he's like, well, at first when he's all like, your daughter, you have a beautiful daughter. I was like, don't be like that. But then later on, I was like, all right, I get it now. They're suffering.
Yeah, their beautiful is different than the realtor guy and the sheriff.
Yeah, it's very different. Yes. But at first, before I knew the context of what was going on, I was just all like, don't be weird, dude.
So when they said they lost a daughter, because you don't find out that it's from cancer till like 45 minutes into the movie. Did you originally think that Charlie was her imaginary friend and Charlie took her or did something to her? Because I did.
No, when I first watched this, I honestly didn't know what was going on. Like, I was like, I don't know what this could possibly be. So, and I couldn't even theorize. And even watching this over again, I was all like, this is the reveal is so weird in my eyes that I'm just like,
they just didn't it was just a blind side, no clues to that type of
I just didn't like the whole time. I'm just like, when it happened, I was just like, oh, I don't like this ending. I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's no way, at least in my opinion, there's no way you could have guessed 100% the reveal. You might have been able to guess, like I said with the Elizabeth Shue kill, I guessed half of the reveal, but I don't know how you would have ever guessed the other half of the reveal.
Yeah, because there was like no clues. Like,
no.
Like, yeah, and we'll get into that more. I don't want to I want to reveal it later at the end, like this movie does. Okay. So the neighbors, they were like, except I love how the wife was all like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I love how she's like, my husband, he's a different man. Why am I telling you all of this? I said too much. And I'm all like, well, why are you saying that out loud? That's weird. Like, you're talking like you're in a soap opera. I'm like, and he's like, tell me more. You
lost a child. That's devastating to any relationship. And there's some statistic, and I don't know it, about the family relationships that survive the death of a child. Mm-hmm. So I think I would be hugely different if something like that happened.
Right on. Okay. Elizabeth Shue. And we can talk about Amy, but Amy was like in this for like a hot second.
Amy's a smart kid.
Yeah. Okay,
Amy got the fuck out of there as quickly as possible.
For sure. I thought Elizabeth Shue, I thought she was charming in this movie. I thought she was trying to do, she was like a nice person. She brought them flowers. She brought what's her face flowers.
Dating David. Is that the
Oh,
best she's got for that area?
I mean, I guess so, but he's like a money maker, you know? He's a therapist. They make money, right? I don't
But
know. I
now
don't.
he's moved to the middle of the nowhere. Who is he treating? He's
I mean, I
left the
guess so, but
hospital, he's left the city, because he went from being like a therapist in New York City to now he's in upstate New York with neighbors that he can't even see because they live so far away.
you
So
give him weird compliments about his daughter
right.
and give him tickets.
Yeah. So I liked her character, but the fact that he approaches her. Okay, first we're going to talk about how small this town is, that the city park is in the parking lot of the gas.
Yeah, and it's like a wooden swing set, like with one
it's like
swing.
one of those rainbow sets, but it's the cheap Menards, like put it together yourself kit.
I feel like they just shot that part in somebody's backyard. They're like, well, we're just gonna shoot this right here.
And edited the gas station in. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
But I went, who exchanges numbers with some guy in a park who approaches him without his daughter, claiming she's in the car and you could not see her in the car?
Right. Yeah, that's such a good point.
And it's like, oh, I have a daughter the same age as her. I was like, well, now you're coming off creepy.
Right. That's so true. That's an excellent point. Okay, so the last one I want to talk about is Catherine.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into the two main characters, but Catherine. First off, I love Femke Jensen. I love her so much.
Sure.
She's
I was just
great.
gonna say that.
Yeah, I love her so much. I'll watch anything she's in. But I also felt like maybe she was a little too close to Emily. Like I was like, where does the line end here for you? Because I feel like you're stepping over just a tad, a little bit.
Isn't that a conflict of interest? He's her mentor, and
yep,
and then she's close with the family, and now she's treating the child. Sorry, a little burpy burp stuck in there.
Right on.
I just felt like that's overstepping the boundaries, and I don't think that would be a thing, because I don't even know if she'd actually be able to treat her.
Yeah, I thought it was I don't know.
Because she was also going to him for his input too. Like she was like, this is my input. And he's like, who do you think taught you that? And she's like, well,
right.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah.
But when they're at the hospital, they're like more like talking it through with each other. She's not treating him as if she's the doctor and this is her take.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Talked it through, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem right. That's like me going into the doctor and saying, so I think my child has a hernia. We should really take a look at that. And the doctor goes, oh yeah, how did you come to that conclusion? And I, oh well, I did some research on WebMD, and he believes me and does it.
It was. I was just like very, but at the same time, I was like grateful because she shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did want to write down. Okay, so the little girl Amy. I wanted to talk about that just for a hot second because that scene, like you said, Amy was smart because as soon as she's playing with that little girl, first off, Emily was being kind of rude when Amy came over. I'm like, you're not even trying to play with her. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? So was Amy giving her the doll or just showing her doll?
I felt like she was just showing.
See, that's what I thought too. But, Emily butchers the doll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I'm all like rude, and she's all like she's picking up her dolls, and she's like, "Oh, she's so beautiful." And I just have to tell you right now, dolls are not beautiful. I find dolls freaky as shit. I don't like them at all. But
I want to say to the writers, they sell thesauruses, and Word, Microsoft Word has it built in. You use beautiful a lot. Adorable, cute, charming. I mean, there's a ton of words that you can use instead of beautiful, and everybody says beautiful.
Right on. Yeah, no. And but she crushes that doll's face, which I'm all like, you did that.
Pokes out the one eye.
Yeah, I was like, you did that very fast. Like I was like, you did that like what, a minute? Like I don't know. You've dealt with dolls before. It's not like you can just like like, just randomly, just like
she
sometimes
had
those
that
things.
red pen, but
Oh,
it
did
made
she?
no
I didn't.
noise. Yeah, she had a red pen
Oh,
in
okay.
her
I
hand,
take it back then because I
but
didn't
it
see.
made no noise. It would make noise.
Yeah, and I was just all like, Emily, why are you being rude to this girl? Don't you want to get rid of Charlie? Charlie's no fun. Charlie doesn't seem like fun to
Yeah.
me.
But she's in the whole big scheme of things, when the reveal happens and you figure everything out, she really was trying to push everybody away because she knew the evil in Charlie.
Right on. Yeah. That's a good point. Okay. Do you want to talk about the kills first, or do you want to talk about the reveal first?
No, let's go for the kills because they're
Okay.
fun.
They are fun. Okay, so the first one I wrote down is the cat.
Yeah.
Because when the cat, okay, so David goes in. Oh, so every like, what is it, every night or every other night or whatever?
I'm gonna assume it's every night, but in the movie, every time he wakes up at 2:06, it's not
something. Yeah, something happens. So he'll go into the bathroom, and there will be writing on the wall in the bathroom
and
where
candles lit and the curtain
which
closed.
again, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It's just like the scene when his wife killed herself, but this time it's like writing on the wall, like, this is your fault.
Yeah.
See what you've done.
Yeah, exactly. Do you see it now and everything?
That type of
question. Vetta, do you light a lot of candles when you're bathing? I mean,
well, I don't bathe. I shower because baths are just human dirt stew.
Yeah, that's so gross. Baths are gross. I'm in the same boat. But even then, I'm all like, unless the power is out, I'd rather bathe in the dark than with candles all over the place. I don't
even own like real light fire candles. Like, mine are those battery ones that are fake.
Yeah, I would do that too. But I'm just go ahead.
But that whole, I'm gonna lay in a bathtub with bubbles with candles and wine, that has never seemed appealing to me. I'm like, give me a hot tub, because at least I know there's chlorine in it.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I'm just like, every time I watch a movie with candles and stuff, I was like, is this what these ladies do? Because I'm like, it's so, I don't know. Okay.
Think of the cleanup time. You got to set it up. You got to clean it up. The water, then you got to run the bath water. You're going to get in. I have news for you. The amount of time you're sitting in the bath before the water goes cold, you spent more time setting up and putting away than you did in that tub, enjoying your wine and your classical movie and your dirt stew. So
yeah, exactly. Okay. So the first kill, besides the mom or whatever, was the cat. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I was all like, "Oh, the poor cat." I was like,
was the water so ugly?
Yeah, it was like dirty.
But that, like, was the cat that dirty? The cat wasn't gutted or anything, and it was a gray cat. So, I mean, it looked like a mud puddle.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
It was so gross.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, why is it? But I maybe it was because they wanted the suspense of, like, he pulled the cat out, and everything, and was like, oh, and everything. And right then, like, me as a parent, I would have been like, we're leaving. We're going back to the city because something's going down. You killed a cat.
Yeah, the minute Catherine would have said, I think she should go back to the city with me for treatment and observation, I'd been like, here's a suitcase, here's some clothes.
Yeah.
This is her diary. Have at it.
Yeah, but he's just
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, he's just like, I'll give it 2 more weeks. I'm like, 2 more weeks? That's so much time.
Like, a lot of people and a lot of animals can die in 2 weeks.
Yeah, when he said 2 weeks, I was like, oh my God, that's so much time. Like, so much time.
And I just feel like, as a parent, if that stuff started happening, you would want your child helped immediately. That was the first red flag, that he was like, I'll give it 2 more weeks. I'm like, do you not take her serious? Do you think this is, I'm like, one of 2 things happening. Charlie's real, or your daughter is going batshit crarazy and killing a cat.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I did write down on here, he's a bad parent. Minus, like, all overall, just like, even if the whole Charlie thing wasn't real, like, he's just a bad parent. Okay,
for sure.
So now we're gonna go to Elizabeth Shue and her death. Okay. We are going to talk about the mom's death, but we were going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But so Elizabeth Shue, So she shows up with flowers, right? And she comes in and first off, she let herself in, which I was like, rude.
Right? It wasn't like the last time she was there, someone yelled, "Come on in, it's always open," like in Full House.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. She just comes in, which I right then and there, I was all like, oh, you're making a bad mistake. I would never walk into somebody's house. I would have just left the flowers and left. I would have been like, hey, stop by. You weren't
or
there.
I'd have picked up my phone and called them from outside.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, thinking like maybe they're doing laundry and they can't hear me knocking.
Oh, yes.
She didn't ring a doorbell. Like they didn't have a doorbell.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's got a fucking ring doorbell these days.
Exactly. Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah, I have one. But you have one too. So yeah, I know I hack into it all the time. So okay, so she goes up and she sees Emily sitting on her bed like a fucking weirdo again. And she's all like, she's like, my dad's not here. And she's like, well, I actually came to see you. And then she's like, you want to play a game? And she's like, I'm already playing a game. And I was like, oh, don't be weird, Emily. And she's like, what game are you playing? She's like, hide and seek. And she's like, don't you need two people to play the hide and seek? And she's like, I'm playing with somebody. They're Charlie. He's hiding and everything. And she's like, points to the closet. Okay. So Elizabeth Shue goes and opens the closet, right? And as soon as she opens, she's like, ah, and then she starts to back up, and then she gets thrown out of the window and dies.
See this, like, I knew who it was that did it, like, and everything, but can we just say this? Why did she back up so far? What was he doing that she was so scared? What was Charlie doing that scared her so much?
Yeah,
she kept backing up until she fell out the window. It wasn't like it was like one step behind her. She had to like walk across the room to fall out that window.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is just she was like so in shock of who it was, and then they were just like coming at her that she was just like, "Oh, I need to back up," and then she just didn't realize there was a window.
Do you think he had a knife with him because later that night he's in the kitchen and he pushes a knife back into the butcher's block?
Maybe, but I didn't see a knife when they did the flashbacks.
I didn't either, or when she drew her picture.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about you, but the first time I watched this and this recent time that I watched this, did you laugh when she died? Because I laughed. Like I'm just all like she's just like, oh, and everything.
That's what made me laugh was her reaction. I was like, and then when she hit the ground, I went, oh,
poor Elizabeth Shue. She's not gonna fuck that karate kid anymore. So
no.
Yeah, and then we find her body later on. And he's like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And she's like, "I didn't do it." And she always says, "Charlie did it." And I'm just all like, "Oh, fuck that, Charlie did it." Shit, what's going on here? We need to go back to the city so you can talk to Catherine. And then okay,
I'm putting you in one of those jackets in a padded room until you freaking tell me what the frick is going on with Charlie.
Yeah, and before we get to the last kill, before we get to the big reveal, can we talk about Emily for just 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. Emily's a little weird, in my opinion. Like, I felt like she was a little weird before her mom died, and I feel like she was weird the whole movie.
But she's starting to get that, like, sunken zombie face.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is taking a toll on this kid. Like, she is a small kid. She is confused. She doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, like
she's trying to save people, yet they just keep dying because no one will listen to her. You know?
Yeah, like she's 10, but she looks 45. You're like, time was not nice to you, honey.
At the end, she's just like, fuck it. No one's going to listen to me. Fine. You're all going to die and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to be scarred for life. And I'll probably end up doing this when I'm an adult because I've watched it happen.
Right on. Yeah. She's like, I'm a tortured soul. And I do have to say when she was like, Charlie, I'm like, smack that bitch. She's getting on my nerves.
I was like, oh my God, he's gonna hit her. Don't do it.
Oh, I was like, I have a headache. And I was like, she is not helping. Okay.
But it makes sense when the reveal happens.
It does make sense. Okay. So, all right, now back to the kills. Okay. So for the last one, the sheriff. Now I have to be honest with you. When he comes into the house, and the lights go and he finds Emily and she's drawing a picture and he's like, what do you draw? And I'm like, I don't know, but you're in her bedroom, weirdo. she's
like, you're not helping your case here, Sheriff.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, exactly. Like I would, as soon as he goes in, I'm all like, Sheriff, don't be weird. You're not allowed to go into somebody's house without a warrant or for probable cause. And you did not have probable cause. Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear anyone screaming.
Exactly. So he walks in, right? And he finds her and he's like, what are you drawing? She's like, you dying. And I'm all like, Emily, don't be weird. Okay. He's being weird. Don't be double weird. Okay. And then the lights go out, right? I'm all like, well, perfect timing, Charlie.
And it showed that the phone cord had been like, when he comes into the house, they zero in on the phone cord. And I was like, and then it's funny because at no point, I wrote this down. I was like, why, where is it? Hold on. Why did they zero in on the phone cord being cut? Nobody tries to call anyone.
Right. Exactly. That's so good. That's so good, dude. Because that is hilarious. I didn't even think about that, but it's so true. So he's going, of course, he's going through the house, and Charlie is saying, Marco. Now, I don't know about you, but as soon as somebody says Marco, I'm going, Polo. Like, I'm all like, sure. And I'm all like, why are you, Sheriff? He's saying Marco. It's Marco Polo. I don't think you understand how this game works. He's looking for you, not the other way around. So you should be backing up into a corner and being like, Polo. And when you see him, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying?
When they're doing the Marco Polo, I don't know about you, but I don't go, say it as softly as they do, because you try to say it really loud, Polo, so that you're not giving away exactly where you are.
Right.
And so everyone's like, and it was Marco. I was like, wait, where are the polos? Is this like what's happening?
Right. Yeah.
I was like, again, the writers or the editors, somebody is failing.
Yeah.
They're confusing us more.
Yeah, no, I was just like, I was like, as soon as it happened, I was just like, okay. I was like, and then he gets hit with the head by a shovel. And then something happens to him in the basement, which I was all like, and I'm not trying to be
stabbed, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Because Charlie has the knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just don't remember because I didn't write it down. I just but yeah. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but I was like, you were being stupid. You deserve it. You were being a weirdo and stupid.
I was like, I mean, I don't think Charlie's getting convicted by his peers because he could go like, he was creeping me out with the way he kept saying the kid was beautiful.
Right. Yeah. And his little weird grin and everything. Yes. And he wanted water. What a monster. Right. Anyways. Okay. So let's talk about the big reveal. All right. Do you want to reveal the big reveal? Do it, girl.
Okay. So Robert De Niro's character David is Charlie. He has a split personality.
Yeah.
I know.
What is that? I thought I had wrote it down. What is that called? Dissociative.
Yeah, something? They don't call it split personality anymore. It's like dissociative.
Yeah, let's call it split personality. It's much more fun.
That was the old one. It's now dissociative something or
identity disorder or something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Not as fun.
What is it? Old people don't change, so it's split personality for me.
Yeah.
So Charlie is his other personality, which I'm like, ooh, did you become a therapist because you knew you had this and you were trying to treat yourself? Or was this your way of you hiding your personalities? You learned all about it.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to something you had said before. Okay, there was no way, like, I don't know how you figured out when Elizabeth died, but me, I was like, there's no clues to, like, they go back to clues. They do all these flashbacks, like there's where she finds the cave and he grabs the butterfly and then he's got the crap on his hands. But I'm all like, how would I know that from like a butterfly? I've never killed a butterfly before.
Killed the sheriff and he's sitting on the bench in his raincoat with the knife. That's when they do all of the flashbacks. And my whole thing is I thought like Charlie was legitimately her personality, and I thought David was just killing all of these people. Like something when his wife committed suicide made him snap mentally. And because he was a therapist, I honestly thought he was like manipulating his daughter.
And that's a good point.
Not see that he was a split personality in this. And they do the flashbacks and everything, and his wife was having an affair.
Yes.
And Charlie kills his wife. So David legitimately thinks his wife's committed suicide, but David is seeing all this, like, because the whole time that Emily is yelling, Charlie, 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 she's like trying to make her dad realize that it's him, but under the name, you know, under his other personality. And so David goes into his office and realizes, wait, in all of his like memories, because in split personality or dissociative, whatever, your regular personality, I guess, is still living its life in your brain, because in his brain, his office was unpacked. He was keeping a journal. Yeah, he was keeping a journal of all of the things his daughter was doing. He was listening to notes that he had taken on his daughter. But when he goes into the room after he's realized what's happening, none of the boxes have been unpacked.
Yeah, which I go, listen, I don't know how you vote, but I wrote down, man, what a waste of time. Like, you thought you got all this work done. Like, you ever been sleeping and you have a dream like that you woke up and you got your kids ready for school and everything, and you got them off to school, and now you're laying back down, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, the bus is here. Yes. and me, I'm all like,
you open your eyes and look at the clock and you're like, oh shit, school started 3 minutes ago and I can hear my kids eating cereal. Fuck.
Yeah. Like I was like, oh, what a waste of time. He thought he got so much work done and he literally got nothing done.
Can I just say, how long have you been living in this house? You've been living in this house long enough to meet a girl at the park, have her over for dinner, meet your neighbors, you know, have play dates for your daughter, yet you've unpacked nothing.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and did he not go in that room? Like, when he turned into Charlie, just did, like, his brain just shut off and he's like, I'm not going to go in that room again. I'm just like, whatever, it's fine.
I don't know. And yeah, it's really, really strange.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So then
I have a question for you. How do you feel about the reveal? Do you think this was the best option for the reveal of Charlie, or do you think there was like something that they could have done that would have been better?
Yeah, I think
I have a thoughts too on this. Go ahead.
I think it could have been different. What's your thought? Because I have a thought too, but
well, my thought is that this could have been all inside Emily's head. And we go back to where she's in the hospital, and this all takes place
staring out the window.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning.
Yeah. Like this all takes place inside her head, and she's trying to break down her mother's death inside her head.
Her coping. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's, yeah. Yeah. And I'm all like, and listen, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I was like, that would have been a way better ending than this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
that's better than what I had. I had that he was the one actually having the affair with Catherine, and the wife found out about it the same way he found out about the wife. Like
that's
his brain twisted it, and he killed the wife, and the daughter knew and everything. So like this was all happening.
Because Hollywood, consult us. We're better at this than you are. Send us your scripts. We'll read them and we'll tell you how we feel.
Because apparently when we drink and watch movies, we give the good shit.
Yeah. I like both of our ideas way better than what we watched. Like I was all like, this was...
I'm not joking. I feel like Netflix or whoever should invite us to, instead of a focus group, they should just invite us in a room, hand us a script, have some vodka,
exactly,
wine,
right,
with
sister,
some snacks, like some chicken nuggets and
God, yeah,
you know, Taco Bell, some good drunk food. So we can sit there and we can tell them as we're reading it, you know, because we'd be making notes. But I don't know about you. I have to be drinking to read my drinking notes. Like I can't
the truth. Yeah, you're all like, what did I say here?
I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then we're like 20 minutes into this and I'm rereading. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get it. Okay. And I feel like when we're all done, they're like all taking notes in the little conference room, and they're like, that was good shit. We'll see you next Thursday. And we're like, great. I need an Uber.
Right on. You know? All right. So how do you feel about the ending in the cave scene?
I was indifferent. I didn't care.
Yeah, I felt like the only thing I have to say about it is that Femke Jensen should have shot him like right away. Like she was all like trying to reason with him. I'm like, no, just shoot him.
And
right
I
now.
personally go, what the fuck does the cave have to do with anything other than she found it on a hike and saw him in it killing butterflies? Like, I just don't understand why the cave was even important. So,
yeah.
And how do you feel about the very end when it shows her drawing?
Oh, I was just about to ask you that.
Is split personality hereditary?
I don't think so, but listen, I'm no doctor. I don't know any medical. I would say no, but she drew that picture where it had her with the two heads. I don't know, because like this whole movie, I didn't feel like she had acted different except for after, like she was happy before her mom died, and then she was depressed after her mom died. So I'm all like, that's normal. Like I totally get that. But her personality after her mother died didn't change the whole movie, except like she found Charlie, so he was fun. But like other than that, like she didn't change her personality.
So do you think that she saw like him setting up the bathroom as Charlie, and then because it shows her there in the doorway discovering, like seeing her dad discover her mom, because excuse me, she doesn't meet Charlie till they move and she's out of the hospital. So I don't know, there's just so much confusion on this. I'm like, what caused her to snap other than the trauma of her mom committed suicide? But kids all over, and unfortunately, children lose parents all the time, and they don't necessarily have split personalities because of it. And I get the impersonation that she does because she draws herself with two heads.
Yeah, I don't think she does though. I don't. I'm just like, I don't know. She hasn't changed her whole attitude the whole time.
She's a grown up now. They could do a sequel. Not that I would watch it, but they could do one with her being the person. But anyways, I'm over it. I've moved on. My thoughts, I'm just gonna go with this and say, don't waste your time.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Yeah, this was a big nothing burger.
If you're looking for any of the actors and actresses in this movie, minus the sheriff and the creepy realtor, all the other of them, they're in way better movies. Go watch one of those. Don't waste your time with this one.
All right, and on that note, we're going to move over to the next section of our podcast. We are going to talk about our questions. Vetta, what is your question for this movie? Go ahead, hit me with it.
What is your favorite Dakota Fanning movie?
Okay, so Dakota Fanning has been in some pretty good movies and everything, but my favorite one, she has like such a small role, it's ridiculous, but I picked it because I love this movie. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love this movie. It's, written by Quentin Tarantino, and I love him. And she's got like such a small role. She's in it for like tops 5 minutes. But I love this movie, and I'm all like, I'm all in. As soon as I saw it on her IMDb, I was like, yes, please. So I was like, yeah, that's my favorite movie that she's been in. What about you?
So I picked a probably not well-known movie of hers called Now Is Good. And it's based on a book called Before I Die. And she plays,
I've never heard of it.
The book's really good. I had to like pre-read the book because I had a kid that, was reading above her level. So I always pre-read books to make sure that there was nothing in it that we needed to discuss that was inappropriate for her age, or that, whatever. So in this book, she has a incurable type of cancer, and she's decided she's going to do all of these things that she'll never be able to do, like a bucket list. And her dad's like super, not supportive, and then becomes supportive or whatever. But they made a movie about it. The book's really good, and the movie was pretty good. She did a good job. I mean,
right on. Yeah, no, maybe we'll review it sometime. I don't know. We'll see.
Are we gonna do like some type of death? I mean, that'll be a lovely theme. Let's do it. Inspirational movies where children die of cancer at the end. But it's got a great story, guys.
Right on. Yeah. All right. So my question for you on this movie is, what is your favorite movie with an imaginary friend? Go. We have the same one, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure.
It's Drop Dead Fred.
It's Drop Dead Fred. I love Drop Dead Fred. Oh my God, I love that movie so much. I can't tell you like how much I love that movie. Like I still own it on DVD. It's so good. I love that movie so much.
When
it's
they
like
make the mud pie at the breakfast.
Oh my God.
And
it's
the
so
cornflakes
good.
everywhere after she cuts her hair. Or after
Don't worry,
Fred
guys. We're going to do it for this
head.
podcast.
Yeah, it's in this month's themes.
Yeah,
don't you worry. You're going to get it.
Don't you worry. Yeah. It's my favorite one. It's so good. I love it. I wish they could have done a sequel before that actor died that played Fred.
Yeah.
But you know.
But I love Phoebe Cates.
Like, oh my God, I love Phoebe Cates. Yeah, she's so good.
She's just awesome. Like, she literally starts out the movie looking like a girl in middle school in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
She ends up looking like an adult.
I've seen her naked. And when nobody was looking
these days.
Yeah, and when nobody was looking, I touched myself. Anyway, so
trust me, she knows you're not the only one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was my she was, if not the first, she was one of the first sexual awakenings for me. So all right, do you have anything
TMI, sometimes
what'd you say?
I said sometimes TMI.
All right. So true. All right, is there anything else you want to say about this movie before we go?
No, we've said it plenty.
Ain't that the
just like the movie went on 30 minutes too long. We gave this movie about 30 more minutes of our lives than we should have.
But me and you, we can do it. We got the gift of gab, sister. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to us and everything. Please follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you do listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. It helps us out a whole bunch, and we really appreciate you guys. We really do. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there, and you subscribe to us at YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we have started a Patreon, you guys, with plenty of different levels to suit any of you that is interested, and the link for that will be in the description down below. And please, you guys, don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye.